too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. There's a slight chance of seeing a shower. Thunderstorm, high temperatures into the low 90s. Mainly clear, low 70s tonight, and then Thursday, sunshine, low 90s. Friday, we're back to sunny skies and a high in the low to mid 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Every Thursday, take a trip down memory lane at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's is bringing back the flavors you loved from Cuco's, the beloved restaurant that once called this place home. Join Joe's Grill and Cantina for Throwback Thursday and savor classic Cuco's dishes. It's the taste from the past with the vibrant atmosphere of Joe's. Don't miss out on the reunion every Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the memories. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 46 days.
Let me be clear, from my perspective, college athletics is not broken. It is under stress. It is strained. And the answers we seek are tied into the complexities that have been referenced over time.
I like Coach Freeze. So I think they think that that was something to do with, like, I was fishing, it was golfing. That really wasn't that. I have a thing with him going back a few years ago, and he, like, posted a picture, like, in response to me of, like, some 2-pound bass or something like that. So I've kind of always posted bigger fish pictures back towards him. So that had nothing to do with this golf game, which sounds like he's doing amazing at that. So that's great for him.
We needed to upgrade our guys' mindset as it relates to academics, and we've been able to do that with this first year in 2025, having a perfect GSR.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
So academics, stress, golf, fishing. What a first day here in Atlanta at SEC Media Days. Day 2, Radio Row, the Stadium Shop on Razorback, and Lindbergh Real Estate Team here in Eric Church Springsteen coming in. Apparently that's what we're singing on Wednesday night, Tommy, for karaoke. Post the Atlanta United
who's
soccer
this we?
game.
You got a mouse in your pocket?
Well, Connor O'Gara, who goes on halftime Mondays, who was here with us yesterday talking about it. So it's what evidently we are going to be tomorrow night. Post Atlanta United.
I'll say, I thought we were going to a soccer game.
Yeah, post Atlanta.
Well, what time is post soccer game?
I don't know. Late. Past your bedtime. Past my bedtime usually. Apparently it is happening. If you want to jump in with us, Lewis.
Anyone that hears rants about how he's grinding all the time and the weight of the company and that maybe the universe is on his shoulders, I think you just learn what you need to know. So
yeah, some of us can do both. I mean, we'll just leave it there.
Yeah,
we'll leave it there, right, Colton? Some of us can do both. Is that fair?
I'm not one of those people, so maybe you're speaking for yourself, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got a big day here today. Mentioned earlier, we were talking before the show. We're going to talk more about it. Saw Hugh Freeze checking into the hotel. with him. He looked like he was ready to go for a full day here in Atlanta. Kirby Smart's here. That's the morning wave. Josh Heupel with Tennessee, and Steve all here today at SEC Media Days along with their players. And one that might be of note, might get a little attention today is Arch Manning. Later this afternoon will be in the house here at the College Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. College game day or college wise is going to be one of the most highly talked about players that hasn't played a lot of football. Johnny Manziel had won the Heisman Trophy prior to coming in. I guess that was in 2013 for SEC Media Days. You've had some other guys like Tim Tebow, some notables that have just slew a crowd of SEC media members around them. And Arch Manning, not a lot of playing experience, but more of just the name itself is going to be up there too.
Our coverage here in Atlanta presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, the largest and best Razorback shop south of the North Pole. Grab your Nike sideline polos coming year, game day jerseys, and a lot more. You can find them in store next to Baum-Walker Stadium or online at shoponrazorback.com. Also by the Lindbergh Real Estate Group, your number one real estate team in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. When it's time to buy or sell, go to Lindbergh Team. Go to lindberghteam.com. That's LIMBIRD, lindberghteam.com.
All right, so we mentioned Lane Kiffin and some other things that were said yesterday, not just his golf game, but one of the things he talked about was the cap, and Colton, I know he was discussing this a little bit, talked about the punishment, talked about the cap overall. Here's what Lane Kiffin had to say just about the cap itself and kind of where it is in college football.
Well, I think that's what's being attempted. It doesn't seem like that's working very well. So, yeah, I mean, I'm stating obvious, that was the intention of what was going on, because there was so much complaints when NIL started and everything about, okay, everybody's got different advantages and different payrolls, and we saw those a couple of years ago, and I was up here at one of these joking about there should be a luxury tax, because of A&M spending or whatever it was, so then that was supposed to be being fixed, and now it's not. So again, we've tried to follow these guidelines because that's what we were told we needed to do. And I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not even saying they're wrong for doing it. If the system isn't solid enough to prevent that, then we really don't have a system. And then so you're not operating in a salary cap.
That was one of the things that you really hit on yesterday.
Well, I mean, and I've said everybody's got to have the same starting line. And if we're going to just have this revenue share, plus we're going to let everybody still have the Wild West of the NIL, and that's what the Scores Act and, Congress and college and the court orders and all that, hopefully, whenever it gets through and is part of the law, will do. And I don't understand all the intricacies of anything over $600 has to go before a committee.
Yeah.
The ship has sailed on the fact that NIL is long past what it was intended to be. It was intended to be that if a local business or a regional business thought an athlete, a Talon Green or a Xavier Sori could help bring customers to their business and they wanted to help with them, they would, hire their name, image, and likeness to come help their business. Well, it became pure pay for play, and that's what you got to get out of the equation as much as you can. Is how do you get pay for play out? Because how many athletes are you seeing in commercials, on billboards? I mean, a handful. I'm not saying it's zero, but not nearly for the 12 or 13 million, whatever the football team's been spending on NIL. You see that much marketing going on out there, or community involvement, or all these other things at what would be even double market value? Of course not. You don't see them in your communities, and I don't see them in mine, and you don't see them driving them around Northwest Arkansas. The pay-for-play aspect, but is what Lane Kiffin's talking about there, and it's got to get fixed.
Well, that is kind of the meat of what's being discussed this week. Again, Lane always would.
I like Coach Freeze. So I think they think that was something to do with, like, I was fishing, it was golfing. That really wasn't that. I have a thing with him going back a few years ago, and he, posted a picture, in response to me of, some 2-pound bass or something like that. So I've kind of always posted bigger fish pictures back towards him. So that had nothing to do with this golf game, which sounds like he's doing amazing at that. So that's great for him.
It sounds like he's doing amazing at that.
I'm not sure how much. You think that was genuine? You
No.
think they really do like each other?
No, not at all.
I didn't really gather a lot of sincerity there either.
Nope.
You know, the season's never over with Oaklawn Sports. See our friends in Hot Springs going to the Major League Baseball All-Star Game tonight. I want to talk about that.
Bang, bang.
Hey, we're at the All-Star break, and, we got PGA action, got the Open Championship this week coming up over in Scotland. Hey, everything is there at the Oaklawn Sports app. The best MLB, golf, soccer. We're going to soccer tomorrow night, tennis, table tennis, and a lot more all there. If you're a new customer, you get $1,000 in bonus bets with second chance bets up to $100 each of your first 10 days. They've even added a 10% parlay boost or profit boost on qualifying three-leg parlays. Check it all out. It's the Oaklawn Sports app. Bet with the brand you trust anywhere in Arkansas. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
You mentioned the All-Star break.
Tonight, the next generation takes its shot at one of the most memorable, enjoyable, and challenging competitions of the summer. It's the Home Run Derby. And there's another one over the chop house. So easy to just go with good wood when James Wood is sending it 3 right out of the gate, including an absolute missile. Now, in his first 5 swings, I'd say he's in a pretty good spot.
Okay, the thing is, the bat looks like a toothpick in his hands. That's how big he is.
And I said we'd have a 500-foot homer. We have one. The Dominican dominance comes to an end. The Big Dumper is your Home Run Derby champion.
This is the opening drive.
All right, so this leading up, and Colton, you might have watched this. Did you see what happened a couple of days ago with Cal Raleigh, who ended up winning last night? So they walked him with his chance to tie Barry Bonds at the All-Star break with the most amount of home runs. Barry Bonds did in 2001 with 39. Cal Raleigh had 38 heading into to this weekend and this week, and ends up winning it last night.
I think this is the most players north of 35 or more home runs at the All-Star break that maybe the game's ever had. I was watching some of that Derby last night. They're going over some of the graphics and how prolific the home run hitting has been this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, Cal Raleigh right along there, and 39, Willie Bray. But there's several guys that are on pace to have 70 or more home runs, and that's interesting to see. And I mean, 10 or 20 years ago, this would be the number one source of conversation. Does it come up in your daily text group?
No, it didn't.
It doesn't come up with my guy. No one's really no one talks about that.
We had a few media men. We're going to talk with Bruce Stan at Pratco Fishing. He's in Orlando coming up in just a bit, get his thoughts on this. But we had a few people text this week about potentially going last night. I know you and Tom are going tonight to the All-Star game, and there's a few other festivities that have happened already, including the draft, where you got 7 more Razorbacks that have been added to that total, which is awesome for Dave Van Horn and his staff. But no, it wasn't. I didn't get one text about it last night.
I'm just talking about throughout the course of the first half of the season. You know, it's not exactly McGuire and Sosa. People aren't exactly it's isn't part of the daily conversation. And I think if 3 or 4 players are chasing 70 home runs come towards the end of the year, I don't think it's going to take over a lot of people's conversations. Hey, if you haven't downloaded the Hit That Line Now app, it's powered by Taco Bell. If you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy, Taco Bell has you covered. Take us anywhere you go, including the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, which we'll have here tonight. It's all part of the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell. I
do have some good news before we talk with Bruce, and I'm going to play this theme as well. So, last night, I finally got my to call the front desk and fix my air conditioning. You're hearing the Office theme. Any idea who the guy that fixed my AC, what his name was?
Steve Carell?
No. You're on the right track. You're on the right track.
No, I'm not an Office guy.
Okay. So. His name, quite literally, was.
It's Michael Scott.
Oh, was it? It was. Wow. And so I'm talking to the AC guy. We're having a great conversation. I look at his name tag because he's a big Georgia Bulldog fan. We're talking about Kirby Smart and the team. Obviously, Kirby Smart set to speak here coming up in about 15 minutes or so. And I was like, good luck this year, man. It's like, we're Georgia. We don't need luck. And so we were having some fun with that. And then I saw his name tag, and his name tag quite literally said Michael Scott. And I was not gonna lie, I was pretty blown away by that because I don't think that's something. He's like, yeah, you're the third person today that said something to me about that. So that is seems like something that he gets from time to time. But I thought that was pretty entertaining. Bruce Stan, Pratco Fishing now joins us. Lewis Automotive Group Hotline. Bruce, do Tommy didn't. He's not really an Office guy. Did you watch The Office back in the day?
No, man, I really didn't watch it. I watched a few reruns on some international flights, but I'm just not a sitcom guy. Just don't get into it.
I hear you. So you
I never latched onto it either.
You're down with Tommy's uncle in a convention in Orlando, right? There's like 12,000 people down there. Is that right?
Yeah, we're at the ICAST show. This is my 30th year at Pradco. This is my 27th ICAST. We missed a couple during the COVID years, but yeah, it's a big show. There'll be people from, I think it's 72 countries. Our buyers from Walmart, we're meeting with them first thing in the morning. Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's, Academy, Dick's Sporting Goods. So everybody who is somebody in the fishing business will be here in Orlando this week.
All right, well, we're at SEC Football Media Days. We're in the College Football Hall of Fame. I don't know if you've been here before, but if you're in Atlanta, it's worth a trip over to spend several hours going through here, Bruce. But today we're going to talk linebackers and look at the best linebackers in the SEC. Let's get after it. Our Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Who were the best linebackers in the SEC? Let's find out.
Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
This is the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
So I'm going to start with a guy that's actually going to be here this afternoon. Probably, I would assume, on his way here now. At the top of my Pradco Pyramid of Power, Anthony Hill, linebacker. Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker out of Texas. Started all 15 games for the Horns last year, 113 tackles, over 16 tackles for loss, 8 sacks. Guy is a stat machine. I got Anthony Hill Jr. as the number one on my Pradco Pyramid of Power for linebackers in the SEC.
Yeah, I mean, we're off to the same start. He made quite an impact last year. They got the number one. He's rated number one prospect as a linebacker in the NFL draft next year, so no doubt he's the best coming into the season.
Going to go with a player in the number 2 spot that was here yesterday, Whit Weeks from LSU. First team All-SEC last year, big time. I mean, he's kind of what Perkins had been for their defense before that injury. 125 tackles, 10 more for loss, started 11 of LSU's 13 games. He's going to be on everybody's list, including Phil Stills and a lot more to be an All-American. Whit Weeks, LSU.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt. I'm right there with you at number 2. He benefited on the tackle department from Perkins going down with the ACL. But, yeah, who wouldn't want Whit Weeks on their team right now, number 2.
So what do you do with Perkins? I mean, some people, based on what he had done previously, would have him up there. I've got him right here in the middle, and that makes LSU pretty good at the second level of their defense. You mentioned the injury and the ACL. I don't know what to do. I mean, obviously he's one of the best we've seen, but 72 tackles, 5.5 sacks, or at least that many in the first 2 seasons that he played. So I don't know what to expect, but you can't leave Harold Perkins off your list.
No, are you putting him at number 3?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, I got him at number 4. Weeks called him the best defensive player in football yesterday at Media Days, but the injury gives me a little pause. I actually got him rated at number 4. I'm going to homer up above you. I got Xavier Sorey at number 3 with 99 tackles, 9.5 tackles for loss, and obviously the defensive MVP of the Liberty Bowl with 10 tackles against Texas Tech, Xavier Sorey at number 3.
Okay, I got Sorey on my list, but we're not there yet. So, just to recap kind of where we're at, we both got LSU guys in our list, but Anthony Hill from Texas, Whit Weeks, and Harold Perkins, my 1, 2, 3. I got Deontay Lawson from Alabama. I don't think you can have a list with that Alabama linebacker, right? And last year as a junior, hauled in 76 tackles, 2 sacks, forced fumble, had an interception. I think they're expecting a lot from him this year. I got Deontay Lawson from Alabama as my number 4.
Yeah, man, I got Perkins right there at number 4. I think you've already covered his stats.
All right, I got Xavier Sorey. You mentioned him, MVP of the Liberty Bowl, 99 tackles last year for the Hogs, nearly 10 tackles for loss. I think him and Cam Ball, who are both going to be here on Thursday, will determine if they can stay healthy and play well. This is a guy that I think can help lead Arkansas maybe to that 7th or 8th win that people are hoping to see. I got Xavier Sorey, number 5 on my list.
Yeah, I had Story at number 3, so I'm going with C.J. Allen of Georgia at number 5. He's pretty much the consensus number 2 linebacker draft prospect. And he was second on Georgia with 76 tackles last year. So he's going to be their defensive leader. And, he's got a defensive-minded coach at Georgia, and I think he's going to do big things this year.
Another name, and I agree with you on that one, that's kind of where I was at 6. Another name from Georgia to watch out for is Zayden Walker. One of the most highly touted recruits they've had in the 25 class and top-ranked linebacker prospect in the country. Don't know what to see, but there's another linebacker from Georgia I think to watch out for as a youngin in the SEC.
Yes, sir. I went with number 6, Tarian York. You've covered his stats. He had that big interception in the win over LSU for A&M, and I didn't have Lawson in my top 6. I went with him at number 7. Perkins at Ole Miss. I struggled. I wanted to put him in. He had 14 tackles for losses, but just rated some other people above him.
All right, Anthony Hill 1, Whitweeks 2, Harold Perkins from LSU. So a pair of LSU linebackers on my number 2 and 3 line. Deontay Lawson from Alabama at 4, Xavier Sorey with the Razorbacks at 5, and Zayden Walker at 6 for me. Ty, go through yours again, Bruce, and then we'll let Ty tell us where we got it right and where we got it wrong.
Yeah, I had Hill at Texas, number 1, Weeks, LSU, number 2, Sorey, number 3, Perkins, number 4, C.J. Allen, Georgia, number 5, and Tarian York, number 6.
All right, Ty, we right or we wrong?
I think Harold Perkins has trailed off since his freshman season, at least based on expectations. Brian Kelly and that defense can't really decide what to do with him, but kind of like you were talking about, still deserves to be on the list. You got a couple, again, Georgia guy and Allen and York guy for A&M. Walker, you mentioned him, but it's the young freshman. I think I would almost bet, and maybe it's just personal and what I watched from last year, that Whit Weeks might be the best one on the list. But, yeah, Anthony Hill seems like the guy that most people would have as the number 1. So not a lot of disagreements, just happy to see Xavier Sorey, who's, again, I advertised him as Arkansas's best player, and I think he's exactly that.
All right, Bruce, I know it's starting to heat up. That means bass fishing. That means earlier in the morning. That means trying to catch the fish before the top water heats up.
Well, keep the Booyah Pad Crasher on, get your 60 to 80-pound braid, look for aquatic vegetation, any type of grass or matted up grass, lily pads, Dardanelle, Kerr Lake. It's happening all over the place because of the high flow. So get your pad crashers, throw it in the middle of it, work the edges, and you'll catch some big bass. And don't forget your Bandit 200 crankbaits. A lot of flow right now, but if you can catch some secondary jetties kind of off the main channel, you can catch a lot of stripers, white bass, largemouth, things like that. So fishing's good. You just got to be smart. Don't get out there in that heavy current and get yourself in trouble.
All right. Well, be careful out on the water. You be careful in Orlando, and we'll talk again next Tuesday.
All right. Where y'all eating tonight?
I'm going to the All-Star game, so I'm going to be
hot
eating
dogs
at Truist Park. So scored
wow.
a couple tickets, good tickets for the All-Star game. So ballpark food for me, my man.
There you go. Enjoy it. We'll talk to y'all next week.
All right. So Bruce Stanton, Pradco Fishing, with us here on the Morning Rush. Beautiful day here in Atlanta. Going to be a hot one, but busy day in the ATL.
Now, help me on this. Is Truist Park, is it a dome or is it outside?
No. We'll be outdoors.
Okay. Well, pat some sunscreen for later on tonight. All right, we've got our Hog update coming up in just a bit. A few more players drafted for the Arkansas Razorback baseball team. We'll tell you who when we come back.
Being a part of the Southeastern Conference, it means more than you might think.
SEC Media Days on ESPN Arkansas is presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, the largest and best Razorback shop south of the North Pole. And by Lindbergh Real Estate Group, your #1 real estate team in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
fans. This is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
And this is Matt. We're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, your headquarters for all things Razorback.
From clothing items like Nike, Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many more,
to a wide range of home, office, and fan cave decorations.
We even have furniture, a pool table, stuff for the yard, garden, and too much other stuff to mention.
So no matter if you're headed to the game or watching from your living room, stop by the Stadium Shop at 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville. That's 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
or stop by the Interweb store at shoponrazorback.com.
Whoa, that's a first, Dad. You actually got it right. How'd you do that?
Well, I use that Googleator thing.
And we're back.
Anyway, that was shoponrazorback.com.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, and I have a plaque to prove it.
Folks, it just does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hawks.
Looking for a big new game to play? Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic World scratch-off games from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, which gives you a chance to win up to $200,000 instantly. And if that weren't enough, you can enter for a chance to win an exciting trip to beautiful Hawaii, where you could win up to $1 million. So get down to your local lottery retailer today, and welcome to Jurassic World. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Hi, this is Kevin Harlan of CBS, TNT, and Westwood One, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Sharp Equipment is your one-stop shop for heavy equipment. Now with their new location in Van Buren on 3918 Pointer Trail East. Whether your machine's rattling, sputtering, or refusing to start, Sharp's got the parts and expertise to get you moving again. Looking for a new piece of heavy equipment? Look to Sharp Equipment, an authorized Wacker Newson dealer. Sharp Equipment has what you need. Come see Sharp at their new location in Van Buren across from Mid-South Steam Boiler, or call 479-649-0500 to see how Sharp Equipment will help you move more than just the world, but will help you move forward.
A lot of life can happen between sips of Dasani. You know, the life moments, big and small, that are worth getting thirsty for. Like organizing a family movie night under the stars. Or hearing an old favorite song and having an impromptu dance party. Or finding a new dinner recipe that the whole family loves. The crisp, clean taste of Dasani was made for all of life's thirst-worthy moments. Dasani, because life happens between sips.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has wrecked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full CertainTeed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with CertainTeed. Avoid the door knockers and storm chasers. We are local and we will be here long after the storm chasers are gone.
Check out PatriotBrothersRoofing.com or call 479-652-9479.
Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
Get ready for the 53rd annual Floorball Tournament at Ben Garen Golf Course, July 19th and 20th. 2 days of great golf, fierce competition, and unforgettable fun. Just $230 per player includes lunch, drinks, and a Titleist gift card as your tee gift. Grab your partner and compete in one of the area's longest running traditions. It's best ball, so bring your A game. Register now before it's full. Call Ben Garen Golf Course at 479-646-5301. When you think golf, think Ben Garen.
Taco Bell's new crispy chicken tacos and burritos are so delicious.
Wait, Taco Bell's a chicken place now?
Nope, they're a taco place.
So this crispy chicken taco's from another chicken place.
No, it's from Taco Bell.
But this chicken is all white meat with avocado ranch. Gotta be from a chicken place.
It's coated in crispy tortilla chips. That's Taco Place.
I don't know. It seems like Taco Bell's just a chicken place now.
Well, the crispy chicken also comes in burritos.
What is even real?
Try the new crispy chicken tacos and burritos from Taco Bell. Your taco place that's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. While supplies last. Contact store for availability.
If it rumbles, roars, or needs a little more power, take it to Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports in Clarksville. From muffler and catalytic converter repair to full custom exhaust systems, they've got you covered. Need welding or mobile welding along with equipment repair? They do that too. Custom fabrication done right. Located at 215 East Taylor Road. For performance, precision, and power, it's Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports. Call today at 479-214-2729 or stop by today.
The summer sales drive continues at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, save up to $6,000 off retail value on your next road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle, reconditioned and backed by a limited warranty. We've got you covered for your service needs as well, with half-off brakes and special financing available for those larger repairs. With our live market painless pricing and non-commissioned sales staff, we're committed to taking the hassle out of buying a quality pre-owned vehicle in the River Valley. Just another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those.
107 down. This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
Everybody, Woo Big Philly. This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
We had 7 more Razorbacks drafted yesterday to MLB teams. Congratulations to Christian Fouts, to the Boston Red Sox, Aiden Jimenez to the Kansas City Royals, Landon Biles to the Braves, Bray Iredale to the Pirates. I was talking to Buddy about that. I know Phil probably is happy about that. Ben Bybee to the Giants, Justin Thomas to the Astros, and then Parker Coyle to the Brewers. So, again, 11 total draft picks. Led the country. Arkansas had a lot of guys that, again, are going to hopefully move the ball at some point and play in the majors. We'll see about if any of these 7 make it, along with Aloy, Wood, Dabalon, and Root.
And you wonder, with Justin Thomas Jr. in the 11th round, Parker Coyle in the 16th. I don't know about, Iredale and Bybee, mid-rounds or 7th and 8th, or maybe a little beyond mid. But, it's the money that they're going to get to sign, which might be better. So, I mean, still all comes together over the next month before, school starts. 100,000 on a signing bonus. Your signing bonus isn't even that strong when you're a little further down in the draft order. So I'll be interested to see if some of these guys do end up going with their professional opportunity right now.
Other baseball news, James DeCreamer transferring from Oregon State, got a commitment from him. Jordan Martin is going to sign with this upcoming class. He's an Arkansas pitcher, tells Best of Arkansas Sports. So you got a commit out of the transfer portal, and you got a high school kid that is going to end up signing with them. I was talking with one of my Auburn buddies, like, again, one of the elements, the DVH, not just the SEC coaches, but the others have to balance is, like, football and basketball coaches don't have to. It's like you can land a kid, get him committed, get him, and he's still going to the major. So just an element coaches have to deal with. Last thing here in your Hog Update. We were talking about this, Tommy. Arkansas volleyball coach Jason Watson adding a couple former players to his staff. Courtney Jackson and Fort Smith's Hannah Hogue. I know one that a lot of people in the River Valley are familiar with her accomplishments, not just in high school, but also at the next level as well.
Yeah, and maybe someday in the next week or two we can have Hannah Hogue join us on the show for a conversation. But I know a lot of people in the Fort Smith area remember her name. She was obviously been one of the most prolific players, and I like the idea. And listen, not even going to pretend we know anything about volleyball, but I like the idea that some recent players that obviously would understand, the current game and be able to relate with current players. I think Jason Watson's made a great move, bringing some players that would be in their 20s in to help coach and relate and deal with a roster of 18 to 22-year-olds. So yeah. I like the youth move here he's had on his staff.
I think a lot of people feel that way. Colton, you might have to press this morning because our internet just went out here. That's your Hog Update. It is always
I did have a couple of people that I respect.
At Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, so I was reading this story. There's a new study from the University of Hong Kong that found older adults feel anxious on Mondays, and they have 23% higher levels of stress. Do you feel worse on Mondays?
Yes.
Colton?
Yes. No
Significantly,
question.
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently,
it starts on Sunday about dinner time.
It can damage your health. no matter your age, job status, or daily routine, experts have said. We now pitch it to our friend David Rath of Rath Mitsubishi. David, do you feel stressed on Mondays? Is there added anxiousness on Mondays when you come to work?
There used to be. I don't feel it quite so bad anymore. I don't know if that's just being calloused and completely desensitized to the situation, or if it bodes well, but it certainly used to be that way.
We lost the return loop.
I think he went out at the end. David, are you still there?
Oh, I am now. Yep, I can hear you guys
Wait,
now.
It's the internet here. Well, unlike the, let's just say how the internet's not reliable here. I know, again, Rath Auto Resources and Rath Mitsubishi, and always reliable. You guys are doing Outlander rebates and rates this month, and I know a lot of people have been talking about getting a new car. I know that's kind of a big thing right now heading into this summer.
Yeah, everything got a little slowed down there during all the talk about tariffs, and that kind of scared everybody and slowed things down on all the import stuff. Getting new vehicles in by the truckload now, so they're kind of trying to make up for lost time. We're not seeing huge increases in pricing, which is really relieving, and kind of even better than that, we're seeing some good incentives. So, with qualified credit, you're going to get rates starting at just like 2.99 for 60 months on new Outlanders, or they're doing a $2,000 just customer cash rebate that anybody qualifies for. So that's really good. And we're getting new inventory on the pre-owned side at both stores, both here in Springdale and in Fort Smith, every day. That stuff's coming through really fast. We're pushing them through the shop, making sure they got a clean bill of health before we put them out there. Got that road ready certified protection on them. And trying to price them on the market. We're talking about painless thing all the time. No gotchas. We're not hiding a bunch of hidden fees or, going to give you one price on the internet and a different one when you get here or anything like that. We're going to make it really easy for you.
No bait and switch is what you're saying. Nothing
no
like
bait
that.
and switch. Yes, that's right.
All right, well, that's, again, David's at Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Larry's at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith. Painless pricing, non-commission solution specialist. And like he was talking about, a lot of things going on with the Outlander as well. David, have a great rest of your week, man, and we'll try and get these internet issues fixed.
I appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good one.
All right, Morning Rush Daily Question when we come back.
This is the Morning Rush.
What's up, Ryan?
Hey, I appreciate you guys. Take my call. Listen to you guys all the time on my drive.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. And this is Matt. We're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, your headquarters for all things Razorback.
From clothing items like Nike, Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many more,
to a wide range of home, office, and fan cave decorations.
We even have furniture, a pool table, stuff for the yard, garden, and too much other stuff to mention.
So no matter if you're headed to the game or watching from your living room, stop by the Stadium Shop at 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville. That's 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville.
Or call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
or stop by the Interweb store at shoponrazorback.com.
Whoa, that's a first, Dad. You actually got it right. How'd you do that?
Well, I use that Googleator thing.
And we're back.
Anyway, that was shoponrazorback.com.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, and I have a plaque to prove it.
Folks, it just does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Looking for a big new game to play? Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic World scratch-off games from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, which gives you a chance to win up to $200,000 instantly. And if that weren't enough, you can enter for a chance to win an exciting trip to beautiful Hawaii, where you could win up to $1 million. So get down to your local lottery retailer today, and welcome to Jurassic World. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Started with juice. Good start, man.
This is the Morning Rush.
The summer sales drive continues at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, save up to $6,000 off retail value on your next road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle, reconditioned and backed by limited warranty. We've got you covered for your service needs as well, with half-off brakes and special financing available for those larger repairs. With our live market painless pricing and non-commissioned sales staff, we're committed to taking the hassle out of buying a quality pre-owned vehicle in the River Valley. Just another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
Equipment down? Got a leak? Lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission's simple: improve the quality of life in our communities. We've expanded to several non-member areas to help new communities. If you live in areas near Altus, Branch, Coxville, Mountainburg, Murray, Spur, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect may be available to you right now. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect will continue opening new areas throughout 2025.
The difference between an average morning and a Hardee's morning is hearty goodness that lasts till lunchtime. Like Hardee's smoked sausage biscuit, split Hillshire Farm smoked sausage on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. And our Frisco breakfast sandwich with cherrywood smoked bacon or ham on toasted sourdough. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Download the app and join my rewards for special offers. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Make hay while the sun shines with Kubota hay equipment from Gray Brothers. Like quality-built Kubota disc hay mowers, known for their durability and beautiful cut. Kubota hay rakes and, of course, the BB Series Kubota round baler. Couple it with Kubota's M-Series cab tractor with 75 to 168 horsepower, and you'll have the prettiest hay on the market. With savings from Gray Brothers and special financing from Kubota, today is your day for a new Kubota at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Podo, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question. What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
Been afforded the opportunity to go to the Major League Baseball All-Star game tonight. Truist Park, about 10 miles away. Probably take 2 hours to get there in Atlanta traffic. But Tom Murphy, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, Whole Hog Sports, is going to go with me. Had 2 tickets tied. I guess it was going to interrupt your karaoke or your social calendar tonight. But
Tom's a better man for the job.
Tom being an Atlanta guy, having spent time here, I'm glad he's going. He will probably enjoy it more than any of us. But what's the one thing? I've never been to an All-Star game. What should I be looking for? I've never been to a Pro Bowl, never been to an All-Star game, never been to an NBA All-Star game. It is an exhibition. What should be the takeaway other than just the experience? Because I was here, got a beat on some tickets, got to go, got good seats. what's the number one thing that I should be, making sure I enjoy tonight at the All-Star game? There's not a Razorback player that is like a focal point like we've had before. So, what next? What should be the number one thing I can't miss tonight?
Smile on Tom Murphy's face.
Okay. Beyond that, thank you.
I think it's the. Baseball is called America's pastime for a reason. The All-Star game maybe does not have a significance as much as it did. I was listening to Fox's broadcaster. I think it's Joe Davis, the kind of the young that's been doing a lot of the prominent things for Fox. Discuss it. There's just so much history in baseball, and then going back, and we mentioned Barry Bonds' record was almost tied leading up to the All-Star break with the home runs and home run derby last night. I think the NBA All-Star Weekend, I don't think is that great. I actually enjoy the baseball All-Star Weekend, even though I'm not going to just the ambiance around it. So I would just take in all the different fans that are there, because they'll be obviously it'll be a heavy Atlanta crowd, being that we're here in Atlanta.
I would think so. But I was talking to fellow broadcaster, good friend, and now soon to be in the Arkansas Broadcasters Hall of Fame, Jay Bunyard from DeQueen. Many know Jay from around the state. Him and his son have been here since the weekend. They were at the draft. In fact, he sent me a screenshot when Gage Wood was selected. That was Jay and his son that were shown on the screen cool. They went to the draft here. So they were
wearing Razorback gear?
Yes, they had Razorback gear. They went to the home run derby last night. They'll be at the game tonight. So they've made a weekend of it. They're from Arkansas, and I said, hey, I'd sent him a congratulatory note on being selected to the Hall of Fame, and he said, aren't you in Atlanta? I'm here too. And we got to texting back and forth about baseball. So I think there's fans from all over the country because it's vacation time. It's a bucket list for a lot of people. I'll be honest, it's not a bucket list for me. I wouldn't be going if it wasn't convenient. But I'm interested, in seeing all the pregame. I like the nostalgia, the lineups being introduced and the players coming out into the PA introduction, the national anthem. I like walking and touring around the ballpark. When I went to Fenway, I spent an hour just walking around Fenway and seeing it. Now, Truist isn't exactly a hall of great history yet. It's a really new stadium. It's the third stadium I've been to see an Atlanta Braves game. In their home ballpark. So, I'm interested in seeing the new stadium. They got Battery Park on the outside, but I think it's going to be a really cool experience. But I've never been to an a professional all-star event.
Type of event like that. Well, it's like you said, some people it's a bucket list. Billy texted and says, go to batting practice. It's the best hitters in the world back to back to back. That's a good one. Loose Automotive Group Hotline is open. Andy Mountain Home says Tommy doesn't want to go to All-Star game. He would jump on a plane and go. Well, Tom's going with Tommy, Andy. So that is his +1 for this event later on tonight. Good question. Again, All-Star game tonight. Home run derby last night. Congratulations to Cal Raleigh, who ended up winning the thing. He's having an awesome season for the Seattle Mariners.
That's the harder ticket to get is the home run derby.
Home run derby between the two. Yeah, I think if given the choice, I would choose both. It is.
You choose both. Given the choice, I choose both.
First one, home run derby. Home run derby, son. Home run derby. That's only like the radio scene when he's like, "What kind of pie you want, radio?" And I said both. Well, that's absolutely the correct answer to the pie question. All right, that's your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily question. Always brought to you by the #1 indoor golf facility in all of Arkansas. You can check them out at social.com, 122 Grant Place in Lowell, right across from the Atwoods. It's BYOB this month only from 9 to 5 on Tuesday, just $25 per bay per hour. CartPassSocial.com. Again, it is the #1 indoor golf facility in all of Arkansas. I was going to pitch it to Kirby Smart, but he left the podium early. I guess he didn't have as much to say or as many questions to ask. He left a good 20 minutes early more than he was supposed to.
10:35. Yeah, well, he was scheduled till 10:35 here. Or
10:55.
Well, what am I looking at? Oh, I'm not looking at the right deal. No, it says 10:35 right here.
That's
main
weird.
media
It's
room.
wrong. It's wrong on mine then because it says 10:25 to 10:55.
So, but we've got the audio recorded, so we'll be getting some
Not playing
some
Georgia.
highlights.
Not playing
Georgia.
this
Not as big a deal, but probably the most high profile. When you say he's the most high, now that Saban's out of the league, he's the most high profile coach in our conference. So interested in what Kirby Smart has to say.
Well, Colton,
he's a voice people listen to.
Colton, I'm just glad that Brian Kelly is invested in academics and grades right now with the LSU program. That's what I'm happy about.
We needed to upgrade our guys' mindset as it relates to academics. And we've been able to do that with this first year in 2025, having a perfect GSR.
What does GSR mean? You said it earlier.
I'm not sure what graduation something rate.
Whatever. So
Yeah.
that
It's
being
the
said,
APR that the academic performance rate that most people pay attention to, but I'm not sure what. I'm not really not sure what. I think it's a graduation rate of some graduation student rate. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I just got a kick out of him, and I know coaches like they have to talk about that and have to say that at some point. But I did just get graduation success
There
rate.
you go.
Thank you, Colton. Graduation success rate. I think one of the interesting things that came out of yesterday, outside of LSU talking about academics, was Greg Sankey talking about the current state of the sport and college athletics as a whole. He called it stressed, not broken. Colton, I think we have that audio clip as well. Him just kind of defining the difference between the two.
Let me be clear, from my perspective, college athletics is not broken. It is under stress. It is strained. And the answers we seek are tied into the complexities that have been referenced over time.
Is it broken or stressed? Like, to me, what I said, what I told Derek and Zach yesterday, you know how like you maybe wear an old T-shirt or you wear old pants or shorts that are way too small for maybe what you could wear 10, 15, 20 years ago, or in my case 5 or whatever, and it's like, and the belt's just about to pop off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what college athletics is right now, I feel like. Like, it's, you can talk about stress, you can talk about it not being broken, and like the ratings dictate it's not, but at the same time, like, this is, if you keep going in this direction for a variety of things that fans are against, at some point they are going to let go of the rope and just throw their hands up and do this. And it isn't helped by the fact that this Arkansas football team hasn't been great the last decade or so. And so Arkansas fans, me, you, everyone listening, obviously I have an obligation because it's my job, but you feel like that is even amplified based on what other fan bases
I think the excitement level heading into this season, and I don't know that it's – I'm interested to know, is it just an Arkansas issue? Because – a lot of my friends, a lot of people I talk to, people that engage with me in conversation about Arkansas football, there is a lowered level of excitement. But I think it's an issue around the sport because of the lack of familiarity with the players on your roster. When you turn over the active roster percent year in, year out, the fans never gain a connection players. And that, therefore, I think it leads to a lower level of anticipation and excitement because I don't know what to think about half the guys on the roster. Let's be honest, the average fan doesn't know half the guys on the roster. And I think that's leading to a level of excitement that is lacking. It is lagging behind heading into important year for college football. It's and probably more of an important year off the field than it is on the field for the sport.
Well, you mentioned it's like, hey, we obviously talk with more Arkansas fans. We're getting a chance to talk with more fan bases here, being in Atlanta, Georgia, SEC Media Days at the College Football Hall of Fame, thanks to the Stadium Shop on Ridgeback and Lindbergh Real Estate Team. But I think my interpretation is, at least, is you're right, you're accurate on Arkansas fans. But for Ole Miss, for South Carolina, for Georgia, for Alabama, for the teams that feel like they have a legitimate shot to the SEC championship, they don't feel that way at all. They might. The roster turnover in Oxford is insane this year. They don't care. They feel like they can go. Do they want Jackson Dart back? Absolutely. Do they want Chris Paul back? Absolutely. But that doesn't affect them. It's only amplified here in Fayetteville because the team hasn't been great the last few years. And you feel like that is
excited about players. I mean, and then if it's not players, you get excited about a coach or so. And Sam Pittman isn't bringing that to the table. So, beyond a handful of players, I don't think the average fan could probably name you more than a handful of players.
And you're right on that, but that doesn't diminish their excitement level for the season because they plucked this guy. They got this guy out of high school, or this guy's coming over from their SEC rival, and that gives them incentive. I was like, man, I can't wait to watch this kid play. The issue with what's happening in Fayetteville is you might get some good players. Like you've gotten a Drew Sanders, you've gotten a Xavier Story, you've gotten some guys that have SEC caliber resumes, and that you are curious. You are wondering, hey, they didn't necessarily get on the field with these blue blood schools, but maybe they can be successes for us, i.e. Xavier Story. But when you pull in guys from lower level schools, same buzz that's doing in Tuscaloosa, Athens, or anywhere else.
All right, we're live at the College Football Hall of Fame. It's SEC Media Days presented by Stadium Shop on Razorback and by the Limbird Real Estate Group. Hey, if you're making plans for Fayetteville for the fall, the Inn at the Mill always has a comfortable size, oversized suite for you to stay with a comfortable bed, ready to get you through a great weekend of Razorback football. Conveniently located just off the Johnson exit. That's exit 69 off I-49 in Northwest Arkansas. Reserve your rooms now for the fall ahead. 479-443-1800. That's 443-1800 or online at innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, the place to stay in Northwest Arkansas.
Tom Murphy will stop by next. Whole Hog Sports. We'll talk with him about what we heard from yesterday, what's set to happen today, and then, of course, Arkansas on Thursday. Stay with us. It's the Morning Rush here on ESPN Arkansas.
Fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
And this is Matt. We're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, your headquarters for all things Razorback.
From clothing items like Nike, Champion, Cutter and Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many more,
to a wide range of home, office, and fan cave decorations.
We even have furniture, a pool table, stuff for the yard, garden, and too much other stuff to mention.
So no matter if you're headed to the game or watching from your living room, stop by the Stadium Shop at 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville. That's 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
or stop by the Interweb store at shoponrazorback.com.
Whoa, that's a first, Dad. You actually got it right. How'd you do that?
Well, I use that Googleator thing.
And we're back.
Anyway, that was shoponrazorback.com.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, and I have a plaque to prove it.
Folks, it just does not get more Razorback than us.
Go
Hogs.
Looking for a big new game to play? Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic World scratch-off games from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, which gives you a chance to win up to $200,000 instantly. And if that weren't enough, you can enter for a chance to win an exciting trip to beautiful Hawaii, where you could win up to $1 million. So get down to your local lottery retailer today, and welcome to Jurassic World. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
For decades, the Rebel Crawfish has been a tackle box staple. But now, get ready for the next generation. Introducing the all-new Rebel Matte series of Rebel Crawfish. 4 all-new Ultra Matte colors that eliminate glare and enhance realism, mimicking a natural crawfish like never before. The same iconic shape and swimming action, but now with a stunning matte finish. Upgrade to the all-new Matte series of Rebel Crawfish today at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Dick's Sporting Goods, and local tackle shops everywhere. Rebel. Catch fish anywhere.
This is the Morning Rush.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Big changes are coming. In order to serve you better, Metters Lumber is joining Ace Hardware. We will remain locally owned and operated so you can expect the same great service, but with lower pricing and better selection. We'll have exciting new brands to serve more of your needs. Come by and check out our deeply discounted merchandise as we make room for new products at Metters Lumber Company in Alma, Ozark in Clarksville.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Or head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. There's a slight chance of seeing a shower. Thunderstorm or high temperatures into the low 90s. Mainly clear, low 70s tonight, and then Thursday, sunshine, low 90s. Friday, we're back to sunny skies and a high in the low to mid 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 46 days.
Let me be clear, from my perspective, college athletics is not broken. It is under stress. It is strained. And the answers we seek are tied into the complexities that have been referenced over time.
I like Coach Freeze. So I think they think that that was something to do with, like, I was fishing, it was golfing. That really wasn't that. I have a thing with him going back a few years ago, and he, like, posted a picture, like, in response to me of, like, some 2-pound bass or something like that. So I've kind of always posted bigger fish pictures back towards him. So that had nothing to do with this golf game, which sounds like he's doing amazing at that. So that's great for him.
We needed to upgrade our guys' mindset as it relates to academics, and we've been able to do that with this first year in 2025, having a perfect GSR.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
All right, it's hour number 2 of the Morning Rush Live SEC Media Days in Atlanta, Georgia. Thanks to the Stadium Shop on Razorback and also Lindbergh Real Estate Team. Guess the hour has arrived. Our buddy Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. So we'll talk to him momentarily.
Yeah, great to see Tom in person. We'll do that in just a second. Brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group. If you've got a project going, whether it's big or small, maybe you're the person that's the foreman on the site that has to order the ready mix. Maybe you're the person that's doing the bidding of the estimating. for large-scale commercial jobs. APAC's there for you, or maybe you just need a new sidewalk or a new driveway at your home. APAC can help pour and or help you get you that plan all the way from planning to pouring that ready-mix concrete. 479-587-3300 is their number. 587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group.
Tom walks over and goes, "We're going to talk about the All-Star game?" Of course we're going to talk about the All-Star game. What's up, man? Day 2. You ready?
I'm ready. You know, they call this radio row, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to call it radio obstacle course because I came up way over there and I had to navigate, all the little ins and outs and corners. But it's good to be here.
I like this perch we have behind us because I can look out and I can see you and Wally typing away over there, and Bob, and they've obviously got an ode to Bob as well.
Yeah.
They got us in a good spot, man.
This is a great perch for you guys because you got the view back down onto the main deal. And this is the first time I've been up this week. And, nice.
We're your first. Let's go.
All right, so Kirby Smart has already been up this morning. Tell us what you heard. We were doing the show, and by the time we tuned in, he had walked away. So tell us what Kirby Smart had to say.
Well, he said fire, energy, passion. He probably said that about 5 different times. So I guess that's their theme this year.
Print the T-shirt.
Yeah, but I didn't realize, and I've got their preview for our series of stories on all the teams, but I didn't realize that they have so much turnover. They have a ton of turnover, especially on the fronts, both sides of the line. So it's going to be a real tester year because Georgia's been up there for many years in a row now, competing for it all. And this, to me, will be a real tester because there are some other really good teams in the conference. And, you think Alabama will be better, and they play Alabama. So all that's going on. And then he's had the funniest line of the morning so far because someone asked him, there was a rumor yesterday that Nick Saban might be considering, getting back into coaching.
Yeah.
And his response, I guess he'd already thought of this, but his response was quick and it was funny. He said, "Well, I thought about offering him Muschamp's job, but it turns out he's overqualified for that." So he got the gig. He got the gig Muschamp. Then later he goes, "But really, we all know the answer to the question. That question is going to be decided by the boss of that house, and that's Miss Terry." So he got the gig Muschamp on one end of it and gig Saban on the other end.
I know,
good stuff.
Tom. I know you used to work in Alabama, and it was and help me on this. You came. Were you there for 1 year of Nick Saban, or did you come over right when Houston was last year at Arkansas?
Okay, so I got the Shula firing. I was there for the Saban hiring, which was, if you all remember, it was a long process. The Dolphins had several games left. And he actually at one point said, "Do I have to say it? I'm not going to be the coach of Alabama."
Right.
I was home for Christmas break, and all my sources were telling me they're going after Saban. Just wait until the end of the season. So it was a long, drawn-out – it was the Rick Rodriguez was going to be hired, and then he wasn't. Mm-hmm. Long process. But so I was there for that. His first spring, I was there for the entirety. Got to know him. And then the first 2 or 3 days of camp. And in the meantime, I had interviewed with Wally Hall in the Democrat Gazette. So 1 week or so of camp at Alabama, and then I finished up Houston's camp. I think they started it a couple of days later than Bama did.
Because you mentioned Miss Terry. I was in Tuscaloosa, I guess it was in 2023, and I just assumed there was like a vice president because I was in Des Moines when Vice President Harris was there, and they kicked us out of the elevator and did the same thing in Tuscaloosa. So I was like, okay, so someone politically is here. That's why. Turns out it was Miss Terry with 6 security guards. And I was blown away by get out of the way, we're making room for her because she is now Saban's obviously royalty there in Tuscaloosa, but she's the exact same way.
She really is too. And he'll let you know. He said it at this event many times. She's the boss in that household, and she was. And from the very moment he arrived, so I went to the little private airport across the river as he landed and all that, and it was hysteria. There was a wreck on the bridge over the Black Warrior River going back to him going to his press conference, and cause I think people were rubbernecking, and somebody ran into somebody on the bridge. It was that chaotic of a day when he was hired, and he lived up to all that hype. I mean, he's the best coach college football's ever seen.
Tom Murphy, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, Whole Hog Sports with us. Brian Kelly, Shane Beamer, Lane Kiffin, Clark Lee all yesterday. Takeaways from day one as you soaked in all 4 of those coaches on the first day of SEC Media Days.
Well, let's see. It wasn't a super riveting day. I was pleased to hear that Shane Beamer gave a little tribute to Bob Holt. Bob's placard and a credential for him are right next to where I am, and so that was touching. And then Kirby Smart also did that today. He mentioned Bob. He said, we need the honorary first question. It ought to be called the Bob Holt question, but, here we go. So we had Beamer yesterday. I wasn't blown away. Lane Kiffin always seems to have something on with his demeanor where he's not enthusiastic about things. Yeah. But I think it's long, good information and all. And they lost so many players. I'm writing about Ole Miss right now for our paper tomorrow. But they went to the portal hard. I counted it up. I think 33 portal players. 9 of them are from the SEC, and 3, as we know, are from Arkansas. They got Braxton, Haz, and Patrick Kudus, and those all are going to be contributors. So they're going to be pretty solid.
I've been floating a theory this morning, and kind of where my mind's at. Would you say there's a lack of excitement with the fan base right now around Razorback football?
I'm a little bit insular, but that's the way it feels.
It feels that
to
way.
Me.
And I think there's cases that you can point to in other places, and I think maybe the excitement at this point is down in more places than it's been. And I'm of the opinion that we've got so many. You just mentioned the roster turnover with Ole Miss and how many players they got in the portal. Arkansas's roster is essentially 50% new players from last year. Fans don't get a chance to really develop bonds and relationships with players because a player like Luke Haas would be someone that would excite you to come back and watch another season. He won't be here. So, if you ask most fans on the street, they couldn't tell you probably more than a handful of players. I think that's leading to a problem for the sport, that you've got to figure out a way to get fans more emotionally connected to the players on the roster when the rosters are turning over. And I don't know if this new House bill and the court order and all this is going to, there's some talk that the transfer options are going to be minimized. I think that it's a real problem no one's talking about with the sport right now.
Well, that's a great point, and I think it takes a lot more elaborate answer than I can give in our allotted time here. But I will say, I think all the coaches are very concerned right now about the way transfers are going. And it was Greg Sankey, or no, it was one of the coaches who was there yesterday, somebody, who said maybe there should just be one transfer. No, this was John Calipari the other day. One transfer.
Yeah.
And then after that, you sit out a year.
Yeah.
So they can't just shuffle around. I don't know if that will be enacted, but it is a real problem. And I think at Arkansas it's magnified because it came at the same time that NIL was introduced, and they were just behind. I mean, let's be honest. They were behind when NIL came in, and they're playing catch-up. Mm-hmm. And I agree. I like to know who's coming back. And honestly, it was a big keep for them that Xavier Sori and Steven Dix are both at linebackers. That's a touchstone. The second level on defense should be pretty good. Then Taylon Green's back. But I hated that they lost some of the guys they lost, Haz and all those, because those are the ones that fans get to know him. Yeah. Oh, it's his third year. Is he going to be improved? And so it's a deep problem that Arkansas is going to have to find ways to address, and perhaps revenue sharing might help.
And talking about revenue sharing and then what goes beyond that, I thought Lane Kiffin gave some good insight as to where his mind's at on, hey, what do you do? And where's enforcement on this? Because you and I have talked about this for years now. Okay, you can have rev share, but if we're not going to limit or have some boundaries on, air quotes, NIL, then what have we really done other than up the ante here with this new court order that's coming out and that the Congress will codify at some point?
He did. He was very. And someone asked him a question about what have you thought of the implementation of revenue sharing? His first response was, well, it was supposed to keep everybody within the cap, but it's not doing that. I mean, that's what he said right off the bat. So basically, he understands there's tampering going on. People are outspending what the revenue share portion should be. Now, whether
didn't he say luxury A&M should pay a luxury tax?
Did.
I think he said that.
He said he referenced that he said that a few years ago about A&M should have a luxury tax. Shane Beamer used the same terminology you and I have used for years on this show. It needs to have teeth. Will it have teeth? To me, that's one of the looming questions. Will the College Sports Commission have the teeth to enforce, to make teams pay for not using NIL the proper way? Otherwise, we're gonna just see the same thing that with the implementation of the start of NIL.
What good is a speed limit if there's no state troopers?
Exactly.
And I think a lot of people are kind of like me. They don't want state troopers and they don't want a speed limit. And that's where you find the people at the top of the sport right now. Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia. No, they're not really interested in enforcement, honestly.
Nah.
It's Ole Miss, Arkansas, the middle to bottom of the pack of every conference that, if you're going to give everybody a equal starting line and an equal chance, then there's got to be some kind of limit and enforcement on those rules, or the rich will just get richer.
You're right, but it's funny hearing Kiffin say that because their NIL was structured pretty nicely out of the gate. That's why the Grove, and they got off to a great start, and they were acquiring players, and they're acquiring a lot of Division I FBS players.
But it still didn't lead to a playoff spot.
No, and I'm just looking over how they lost. I was watching most of the games. The Kentucky game at home. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Kentucky had a bad year. And then at the end of the season, if they just go and beat Florida, they're going to be in the playoff. They got Mississippi State next. That's it. But they lose to Florida by a touchdown.
Atlanta's been, to say the center of the universe might be understating what Atlanta has been the last few days. SEC Media Days isn't even on the radar of what's going on in Atlanta. I mean, seriously, it's not. And a lot of times when SEC Media Days rolls into Dallas or Nashville, and certainly when it was in Birmingham, Hoover, it was the biggest thing happening in town, or at least that part last night. The Major League Atlanta, they had a fan event, but they have the draft, and then last night the home run derby. Tonight is the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. You and I are going to go. I had a couple tickets fall just out of an Angel's hands into ours, and you and I are going to go take in the All-Star Game. I knew you would love this because Atlanta guy, Braves fan, and I knew you would appreciate. So,
I will be forever grateful.
Well,
that we're going to the Truist Park. It'll be my first time.
I've never been to an All-Star game of any kind.
I haven't either.
Let's go.
Not even close.
No.
And I was talking to Wally about, you think I ought to go? Or he's like, how often is the All-Star game going to be in your hometown? And you have a chance to go. And I said, 0. This is the only opportunity.
Yeah.
So I'm going.
Yeah.
But I'm going to argue with you on one point. I think the SEC Media Days is making a splash. But in our hotel, there were more cowboy hats than helmets.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it was stunning to see the number of people walking around with cowboys, because I guess she's on her country, the Carter Tour or whatever that is.
Oh, this hotel's been filled with, younger to middle-aged women that are clearly not dressed up to go to the All-Star game. Let's just put it that way. They're clearly not here for media days.
But I'm proud of my hometown. All this is going on at one time, and I know there's been a lot of traffic jams around this area specifically, but all this at once is really kind of amazing. And it's that type of a city right now.
I mean, I went to a Taylor Swift show with my daughters. This might be on the same level of fandom and fame as her.
To play 4 nights in a row, I guess it's all the same venue. What used to be Phillips, maybe State Farm Arena now, something like that. To fill up, to have 4 nights is pretty stunning.
Pretty cool. I know you don't necessarily call yourself a soccer fan, but are you doing that Atlanta United thing tomorrow?
Well, we're kicking that around. I'd like to go see a live Major League Soccer game. That would be fun. But I think we might end up having an ADG dinner.
Okay.
Talk about the season.
Put it on a wall. Put it on a Wally.
We will.
Tom Murphy with this Whole Hog Sports Arkansas Democrat Gazette. So I listen, and you mentioned the possibility of Nick Saban getting back. Colton, if you could play this clip, because McElroy kind of clarified. He was on his show on WJOX in Birmingham, and then went on another show with Pat Smith Landrum, who are friends of ours, and he kind of talked about like the possibility of Saban coming back, which might be the biggest story. Take a listen.
I did have a couple of people that I respect say, don't rule out Coach getting back in it. He's too competitive. I think he loves the game too much. Like, don't rule it out. I'm like, no way. Come on, that was my reaction like everybody else. Well, come on, get out of here. No, I was like, just saying, don't rule it out. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'll ask Paul. You know what I mean? like Paul's connected. I'll ask him on the show on Monday. So I asked him point blank. I was like, Paul, I wouldn't ask the question if it weren't a couple people I trust and respect that seem to think that this is a possibility. And Paul and I both kind of laugh like, no, absolutely not. I don't see it as a likelihood. Like, he's completely content doing what he's doing. I don't get it. So I just am surprised that basically me asking Paul if he had more information on it has now turned into Coach Saban is taking the Miami Dolphins head coaching job.
So, my thing is, he's cut from a different cloth. About Saban, right?
Yeah.
We would describe him that. And I know it looks like he's enjoying media, but like when I heard McElroy say that on his show yesterday, and then I listened to him kind of clarify this, I wouldn't entirely surprise me if he tried to get back into coaching.
There's no winner or loser at the end of the day in media. I mean, we can talk about ratings and all these things, but that's what someone cut from the cloth that Nick Saban. At the end of the day, there needs to be a scoreboard, and someone won, someone lost, and he doesn't have that in his life right now, and that's hard. And he's not on a team. That's the other thing I hear coaches talk about. You know, from Pop Warner all the way through, they've been on a team their whole life. They coached or played, and they've always been a member of a team. Yeah. I know you're a member of your broadcast team. That's not, it's not the same. So I think those are hard things for someone to get out of their system, Tom.
I think you're right. It's an intriguing thought, and obviously, being the legendary coach he is, that's why it's such a to-do about this. And I don't claim to know him well. I mean, I obviously met him, covered his team during that spring, but I think he is phenomenal on the air. I think what he brings to the broadcast is really cool. So I like him in that role, and I would prefer to see him in that role. I think his hearing's a little bit down, and I just don't know if college. I think the college game was frustrating to him, the NIL part and all. Yeah. And I also think Miss Terry will make the final decision.
But we watched Gus Malzahn leave his job at Central Florida to be a coordinator. We've seen others leave the game. But if revenue sharing comes in and coaches now don't have to go out and panhandle for money from donors, and you take a lot of that, and you've got a general manager to deal with all the nonsense and the BS that a coach would someone like a Saban maybe be a little more enticed if some of the just shenanigans that were going on with NIL were no longer a mess and in their hair?
I think those factors would play into him leaning that way. But again, he's 70-something. Yeah. And I think they value what they do at home, him and Miss Terry, and I don't know. Well, she holds some sway in that family.
Well, I heard her. Miss Terry's family owns land in Arkansas, and I heard that Saban was wearing a red tie at the powerhouse. Nice. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That's the kind of stuff that's going to go around in every fan base as long as until he comes out and squashes it.
Okay. Well,
but he also squashed the Alabama job once before he took it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had to write that. I mean, I'm at my in-laws' house writing. Nick Saban said after the Dolphins game against, I think it was the Jaguars or somebody, the Bengals.
It's like
that he said, "Do I have to say it? I'm not going to be the Alabama coach."
It's like the Texans college kid that asked Schlossnagle right after they lost the College World Series to Tennessee. It's like, are you going to take the Texas job? And he went off on him. And then like the next day he had that public BS apology to that kid. That's similar circumstance.
But you think about a Mike Krzyzewski. You think about a Roy Williams. You think about a Jay Wright. I don't think Nick Saban left completely because of NIL, but it was clearly a factor. A reference Malzahn stepping down from a head coaching job. Those are just a few examples that come to mind around college sports in general. Clean up some of that, and coaches have a GM or athletic departments have a GM like a Remy Cofield at Arkansas. Maybe some of these legends that have made their money and really are doing it for the love of the game. Maybe they don't exit as quick. Maybe they're likely to come back
maybe you're right. Oh, maybe you're right, Tom.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I was trying to think. My mind was racing, trying to think of guys who'd retired and then came back. And
coaches wise or players?
Yeah, coaches like who came back, and I'm trying to think of one, but in my mind it didn't go as well, or not as well as they had planned.
I guess the Arkansas connection I would think about would be Coach Horton, because he went on the Coach Harold Horton, like the private sector for a number of years, right? If I remember, I'm going back to listen to Coach Tim talk about it, and then jump back into coaching. If I remember that right.
Yeah, I mean, it was very successful at UCA.
From a college and an NFL standpoint.
Well, I mean, you think, I don't know, Gene Chiswick's a guy that left and went to Brighton, and he didn't retire. He got fired. I mean, I think about coaches that got fired. You think about a Bruce Pearl. He was out for a while, came back. Obviously, he's been successful. I'm just trying to think. Some went into broadcasting, like Saban, and have come back.
Here's a couple.
Those
Mac
weren't what I would call a retirement.
That's a good
though.
one.
Would be a better one.
Yeah, I'm thinking more of the age of Saban.
Yeah.
'Cause that's pretty rare to be at his age and then come back. But Mac Brown, there was another one that popped in my head and is gone. But I don't know, man. I think for his legacy, I'd prefer that he not come back. I truly enjoy his commentary on TV. It's great.
And there's nothing he can do to enhance his place in the game and where his legacy. There ought to be a whole wing here for him at this Football Hall of Fame. I mean, I don't know what more he could do to bolster his value to the game. Probably could do more staying out and trying to be a voice for the sport and maybe shepherd it in some way.
I think he's been influential in just the last year. Some of the things he said. Now, I did see that they played a highlight for an upcoming show. It was about the playoffs last year. It was the Vanderbilt game, where he said the only place in this league that's not hard to play is Vanderbilt. It was the Vanderbilt upsetting them.
And if I remember that correctly, he was on Pat McAfee in Vanderbilt Stadium when he said that.
Yeah.
And then they, like you said, proceeded to beat them the next day. And speaking of Vanderbilt, Diego Pavia has not lacked confidence here this week, Tom. He was wearing a tux on Monday. He said some things in the offseason about Tennessee and I think another program or two. I'm curious to see how Vanderbilt was like. No one saw them coming last year, and now people see them coming. I'm curious how they do this year.
That's a great point because they're just not a program with all that tradition and all. And so you do wonder, is it sustainable? And to hear Clark Lee talk about it, he thinks it is. But Clark Lee speaks in a lot of catchphrases, so he's a little bit hard to listen to the whole time through.
Tom, looking forward to it tonight. Uber will be downstairs after Steve Sarkisian.
It's going to be a day focused on work, knowing there's this little rainbow.
Light at the end of the tunnel.
At the end, it's going to be
Just know that rainbow at the end of it's not a pot of gold. It's a hot dog and a beer at the ballpark.
And is there anything better than that?
No.
At Truist Park, man.
No. I mean, that'd be
You can tell how he ended the Truist Park.
Yeah. All right, I'll see you later today, my
Later,
friend.
guys.
All right, Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, with us here on Radio Row at the College Football Hall of Fame at SEC Media Days. Our visit this morning brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. The summer clearance event is underway. Get a Doughboy Somerville above-ground pool for just over $7,000. Everything is included that you need to jump right in. Plus, you get a 5-year warranty. Looking for low maintenance, looking for easy? How about fiberglass plunge pools starting at under $40,000 and soak it all in with a 7-person hot tub for only $74.99, and that includes delivery. Hurry in, Burton Pools and Spas, 4 locations. The newest one in Hot Springs. They're in Greenland, Springdale, and in Fort Smith. Online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, water for a better life.
All right, when we return, John McDane, SEC coordinator of football officials, was talking this morning a few topics that he touched on and some other updates in your SEC update when we return live from Radio Row in Atlanta, Georgia.
Being a part of the Southeastern Conference, it means more than you might think.
SEC Media Days on ESPN Arkansas is presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, the largest and best Razorback shop south of the North Pole. And by Lindbergh Real Estate Group, your #1 real estate team in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
This is The Morning Rush.
The summer sales drive continues at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, save up to $6,000 off retail value on your next road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle, reconditioned and backed by limited warranty. We've got you covered for your service needs as well, with half-off brakes and special financing available for those larger repairs. With our live market painless pricing and non-commissioned sales staff, we're committed to taking the hassle out of buying a quality pre-owned vehicle in the River Valley. Just another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission's simple: improve the quality of life in our communities. We've expanded to several non-member areas to help new communities. If you live in areas near Altus, Branch, Coxville, Mountainburg, Murray, Spur, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect may be available to you right now. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect will continue opening new areas throughout 2025.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America. The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about to be tough there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally the Hill. It's the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
This isn't necessarily a rule change as much as it's a new emphasis for the judgment that officials are going to use with what we call defensive matchups when the offense substitutes in typically a high-tempo offense. We go into what we call substitution mechanics. You'll see the mechanics when the referee is going into this position right here, and this starts off signifying that the offense is substituted. And once the offense has declared the 11, he's going to look over to the defensive sideline and give him a 3-second window for the defense to match up substitute. What we've seen over the last couple of years, and we've definitely saw it at a high volume or a higher volume in the 2024 postseason, is defenses are starting to try to game how they're doing their matchup substitutions and trying to eat up the play clock. And so we're adding the concept of the substitutions need to be done with an athletic pace.
All right, break them down.
All right, so what he's saying there, and I've wondered for a long time, is why defensive players didn't lumber their way off the field when the play clock was getting down. Because because the rule is you could force the offense into a delay of game penalty, because if they substitute late and the officials properly hold up play for the defensive substitute to make that change and the play clock expires, the penalty is on the offense. I've always wondered why defensive players were hustling to get off the field with under 10 seconds to go on the play clock. Now they're putting a little bit of definition to it that says, hey, what was his words? You need to be moving with an athletic pace, an athletic move to get off the field. They've had some instances where this was a problem, and it forced the offense into calling a timeout. And that's what they're addressing, that issue. It's a smart play by a defensive coordinator, and I didn't think it was utilized enough.
Did you take anything away from what he said outside of?
Yeah, there's also some talk, or he was talking about the rule changes around injuries and how that's going to occur, and we call it the Lane Kiffin rule on injuries, the Ole Miss rule, but there was some dealing with that, how the officials on the field are going to deal with that. And if a defensive player goes down to stop the offense, and there are certain regulations within the rule, but the defense could be charged a timeout if it happens at a certain point in the play clock. So that will be the new rule. Also, a rule change concerning timeouts in overtime, where you're going to be limited once you get to, I believe, the third overtime this year. In how you can call your timeout. So that means it's going to be very important that you get the right personnel on the field, the right number of players on the field, all of those type of things. So as we get a little closer to it, maybe we'll have John McDade on, or I'll catch up, maybe visit with him. We'll have a segment at some point about the rules this year, because everyone complains about the officiating, and he went over some of the stats, and everybody wants to call accurate, but at the end of the day, and he covered this, it's about getting those crucial 2 or 3 plays right in the ball game that really swing the game. And they do pretty much a pretty good job of that.
You and I were eating barbecue last night. We did not take this in, but they released, I guess, the first episode of SEC football Any Given Saturday. And we got the trailer this morning if you want to take a listen. Let's play about like 20 or 30 seconds of it.
Now, as a little boy, teachers would ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'd say college football player.
The SEC is the greatest place in the world to play college football.
The SEC teams who are winning the national championship.
There's such small towns. Maybe there's 30,000. But when you pull up to
so this starts, Tommy,
90,000.
on August the 5th. It's going to be on Netflix. You going to watch this? I know they had them in town in Fayetteville during one of the Sam Pittman live shows, because Chuck was talking about it. But is this something that, I don't know if it's appointment TV, but will you take this in each and every week?
The good thing about Netflix is you can binge watch at some point.
Yes, that's true.
I'm a binge watcher. I'm a DVR.
You're not a one episode guy.
I'm a but there's very few programs that gather my attention in hard enough that, hey, it's appointment TV. Sporting events do that, and pretty much beyond that, unless it's big live breaking news, I binge or I DVR and catch up.
Binge or DVR.
Yeah, I'm a DVRR. Is
that proper use called DVRR?
That's what I would say. I wouldn't try it any other way.
Yeah, skip the commercials. Fast forward. All those things. So, but my schedule's too erratic to think that I'm going to be in front of the TV for something of that nature. On a date and time each week.
The guys
this isn't Desperate Housewives. I mean, that was Sunday night. You had to do that back in the day, but this is
Eva Longoria.
This is not quite that.
Yes, that is. I watched a few episodes. Not gonna lie. Let's see. So you had Kirby Smart speak. Hugh Freeze. I think I printed out the wrong seat. Does yours say 12:15 when Hugh Freeze speaks? Just want to make sure I got this right.
Get your schedule right.
I've got it circled. It says 12:15.
I got 12:15 to 12:45.
Okay, thank you.
Eastern time.
Okay, well, at least they listed out Smart's wrong. But you had Smart. Freeze brought his golf clubs. He'll be up. Josh Heupel is going to be later.
I've never seen anyone have a caddy in the bring their luggage and their golf clubs in, but he did.
And then Steve Sarkisian. This is the most power-packed day when you think about a national champion, winning head coach, and Smart, Hugh Freeze, and everything that he's dealt with in the offseason. Heupel more football-related offseason stuff. And then Sark, I mean, there are questions for Texas, like can they finally get over the top and win a national championship? Hopefully they don't beat a team in red and white in November. But there's going to be a lot of attention not just paid to him, but his all-SEC, All-American caliber linebacker in Anthony Hill, and also, of course, Arch Manning, who will probably, I don't know if he'll get as much attention as Johnny Manziel did, but it's going to be darn near close, Tommy, when it comes to the amount of people that are going to be circling him.
We'll see. I think you're right. I'll be interested to see it. Some of the media stuff that's occurring, and I mean, there's some Texas media here, and maybe there's more that's arrived, and we've been back here, kind of the back end of the Hall of Fame, and I haven't seen it. But, this isn't going to be like Dallas. I mean, if Arch Manning had been there next year, it'd be probably a real circus. Yeah. But I'm not sure how much. I mean, I haven't seen a ton of Texas media here.
You mentioned the circus aspect. So I saw a Texas fan earlier. I saw a Georgia fan for years in Birmingham at the it's what the Hyatt Regency. Yes. Am I saying that right? They're for Auburn and Alabama. There were so many fans. It's just not as attended. And the SEC Network has something to do with that, being the fact that you can watch basically wall-to-wall coverage all day, and there's social media and everything else. But these used to be a heavily attended fan event by Alabama and Auburn fans, and it's just not that way anymore. It's not as much as a circus as I guess is the proper term as it used to be.
All right. That's your SEC update live from SEC Media Days. All of our coverage at SEC Media Days presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback next to Baum-Walker Stadium and by the Limbird Real Estate Group. Find them online at LimbirdTeam.com. What's for lunch today? I'm already getting hungry. We had some good barbecue last night, but I'm thinking
better than mid, as you called it.
If I'm in the Fort Smith area, Art's Barbecue sounds pretty good today. It is a Tuesday, so that means they've got pork chops on special today. You get 2 perfectly cooked barbecue pork chops served with your choice of 2 sides. That's pretty great. Here, you know what the best part is? It's only $9.99. So if you're looking for a great meal, I've had these pork chops. I can eat one, then I take one back with me. You can get their twice baked potato. You can get okra. You can get their house cut fries. The onion rings you can't miss. The beans, the potato salad, 2 of those sides, and 2 big old pork chops that they have perfectly cooked for you today only on their Tuesday special, just $9.99. Art's Barbecue, Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith. Or if that sounds good to go, you want to take it back to the office, 479-452-2550. Call them. Then you can pull up to the drive-up window. They'll hand it to you, and you'll be on your way. That's Art's Barbecue, Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
We were talking about the coaches that are appearing today. Yesterday, Lane Kiffin met with the media, and he talked about cap a little bit, but in addition to that, he talked about punishments, that if you exceed the cap, the luxury tax that there was being jokes made about. Here's what Lane Kiffin said if anyone goes over, what should happen?
I don't have the answer for the punishment on the cap because it's not even, I can't even say that because it's like, here's the cap, but then here's these other contracts, and are those going to get passed? And what if you go over on those and that system with Deloitte? And so I don't think we even know. And is it even going to happen? You got these states passing laws where looks like you can't even enforce it. So what are you going to have? Like NFL, like, hey, these divisions, you have a cap, but then NFC Central, you don't have a cap, or teams in Florida, you don't have a cap, so I don't know that.
He's advocating for uniformity, and that's something that he's not the only coach, and you mentioned it, there's other coaches that feel that way. Sam Pittman will probably be saying the same thing. I think what Arkansas fans feel like is, so the hope is the revenue share to 20.5. You split it up between football, basketball, baseball, and the other sports. That will make it more competitive. You feel like, hey, money potentially, and obviously some coaching miscues and player miscues the last decade or so have cost us a chance to be better than we are. But with this, it's like, hey, maybe we can get on an even playing field. But based on what the coaches have said, it's still, even though the idea makes sense, you don't know if the execution is going to get there.
This, whether we like it or not, we can't change the geography. We talk about the geography of where you're at, your state's population base, your recruitable population base within your state. Rev share and all of what's going on, while I still don't believe this is going to – it might be the only way Arkansas ever gets to a point where you could be more in the middle to I don't want to say the top third, but middle to top fourth of this league at some point more often than not. Right now you're playing at the bottom. Will money matter more than geography? Well, let's hope it does, because that's we can't change the geography.
Yeah.
We'll never change the fact that our state doesn't have enough 4- and 5-star recruits to go get. If that's where we're going to hang our hat for the next 50 years, we're SOL. But maybe this rev share does give Arkansas a chance to elevate its position. I don't believe that will be actually the end result, but we know we're not going to change geography and, where people live and where 5-star recruits come from. There's nothing we can do to fix that.
Yeah,
so let's try something else, and maybe this new setup will help. So, all right, more from Atlanta coming up, and we've got plenty to get to. Halftime, we'll have more with Tennessee and Texas later on this afternoon. Ruskin and Zach, all of it here from the College Football Hall of Fame and SEC Media Days.
Are you going to induce yourself? Is that the right word? Induce yourself before you go on Ruskin and Zach? Is that the right word I'm looking for?
I'm not sure what word you're looking for.
Are you, and notice, Colton, how I asked that rather than just assume it as the correct word. Are you going to prepare yourself is probably the better word for going on with them later? That's something you can't just casually walk into.
I'll have another cold Diet Dr. Pepper. I haven't drinking all of
the
show this morning.
The main complaint I've heard outside of the internet, Colton, is the fact that there's no
I'm gonna
Coke
tell you,
Zero.
This is the only place in Atlanta you can't get a Coke. It's at SEC Media.
Well,
Days.
SEC,
I promise you that.
When the Coke ponies up and sponsors the SEC, that it will be the official beverage.
I guess so. I think neither one needs the other is probably the issue at this point. Hey, Gaston's White River Resort. I can go there and get a Coke Zero. Everywhere else in this town, I can get a Coke Zero.
Clint help you out. Yeah, Clint will have a Coke Zero.
Clint will have that Coke Zero waiting on me. Probably if I called ahead, Cheryl and Jacob and the team, they get what you need in your cabin for you. So when you show up, everything you need's right there. That's the level of customer service you get with our friends at Gaston's White River Resort. If you enjoy trout fishing, or you've heard me talk about it for years, and you say, you know what, I want to book that trip with my kids or my grandkids or my spouse, we're going to do something different. Trout fishing's not this it's not like you got to launch the boat and you got to figure out what kind of rigging and you're going to tie it and how do I deal with the currents and no. Their guides take care of everything. Only thing you got to do is get yourself down to the dock from your private cabin, get in the boat, and then they handle it from there. Well, I don't want to touch the fish. That's what my wife would say. Well, that's no problem. That's what Sean or Mike or any of the other people on their guide staff will do for you. Well, what kind of lure do I use? Well, you don't worry about any of that. They'll take care of the red worms, the shrimp, corn, or some kind of plastic lure that you might use. They've got that stuff. So, well, I don't know how to cast. Well, they'll do that for you too if needed. I don't want to clean the fish today. You don't have to. They'll take care of that, or we can just catch and release. 870-431-5202. You talk about relaxing. You talk about different. You talk about memories made. They can do it at Gaston's. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. First class time. Every time.
Hi, Tommy. They're great. You do a great job all day long. Great station. Y'all guys have a great, wonderful day and go home.
This is The Morning Rush.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot. How doers get more done.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'll just be honest with you.
You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras and Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60.
Only for a limited time at Hardee's. Get a free pulled pork Frisco burger when you download the app and join My Reward. The app for terms.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
A lot of life can happen between sips of Dasani. You know, the life moments, big and small, that are worth getting thirsty for. Like organizing a family movie night under the stars. Or hearing an old favorite song and having an impromptu dance party. Or finding a new dinner recipe that the whole family loves. The crisp, clean taste of Dasani was made for all of life's thirst-worthy moments. Dasani, because life happens between sips.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Storm season is here. Is your roof ready? Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has wrecked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They have the #1 certainteed roofing company in Arkansas. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full certainteed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with Certainteed. Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
Sharp Equipment is your one-stop shop for heavy equipment. Now with their new location in Van Buren on 3918 Pointer Trail East. Whether your machine's rattling, sputtering, or refusing to start, Sharp's got the parts and expertise to get you moving again. Looking for a new piece of heavy equipment? Look to Sharp Equipment, an authorized Wacker Newson dealer. Sharp Equipment has what you need. Come see Sharp at their new location in Van Buren across from Mid-South Steam Boiler, or call 479-649-0500 to see how Sharp Equipment will help you move more than just the world, but will help you move forward.
Bred for the mud. Kawasaki Terex KRX 1000 and Terex KRX 41000 lifted edition side-by-sides come factory equipped to dominate wet and muddy conditions with ITP crypted mud tires, elevated dual snorkel air intakes, and Fox 2.5 LSC piggyback shocks. This edition is purpose-built for more mud-slinging good times. Now, weather doesn't stop the adventure. It inspires it.
Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You can pay for reach.
The worldwide leader in sports.
It was her first ball game with my wife, and we ended up on that field. We were in section 104.
Brother, you just turned the light bulb on. You gotta go with somebody. At least I go with a winner.
Tommy, they're great.
You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
All right, final segment here of the Morning Rush on a Tuesday edition. We're going to hear from Hugh Freeze coming up in about 25 minutes. Josh Heupel set to get on the podium at 1:30 Eastern time, and then also rounding out will be Steve Sarkisian. This is probably, Tommy, the biggest loaded day of the week based on just attention from not just SEC football fans, but obviously fans of those teams. And you got 3 opponents that you'll play.
Just ask a Texas fan. They're the biggest thing going, bigger than Beyonce. Just ask them; they'll tell you. So, but are we doing trivia today?
Yeah.
CJ's Butcher Boys trivia?
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right, let's do it.
Anybody interested in grabbing a couple burgers?
Those are good burgers, brother.
Archer Burger. My God.
This is CJ's Trivia Tuesday, presented by CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Fayetteville and Russellville.
I got the shakes that'll make you quit. I got the fries that'll cross your eyes. I got the burgers that'll... Just the burgers.
When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best.
All right, being that we are in Atlanta, Georgia, the College Football Hall of Fame, who is the most longest tenured coach in the Southeastern Conference football-wise? 877-377-6963. The longest tenured coach in the Southeastern Conference for a $25 gift card to CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. Two great locations.
Oh, I know the answer to this one. It's pretty obvious once you realize who it is.
You must call, and today you must call, again, at 877-377-6963. We got about a minute that you can call Colton and have your chance to win a $25 CJ's Butcher Boy Burger gift card. All right, so you know the answer
I think,
off the top of your head. I'll give you another hint. It is not someone that has gone on Monday and not someone that is talking today. So that is an added hint. We go to the phone lines to see if this person can give us his answer. Colton, who do we got on line one?
Jackie from my hometown in Gentry.
Hey, Jackie, what is the answer to our CJ's Trivia Tuesday question?
Kirby Smart.
It's not Kirby Smart. All right, let's try this in. He's up there. All right, who's this? What's the answer to our CJ's Trivia question?
Is it Mark
Who's
Stoops?
this? Hello?
This is Chris. Can you hear me?
It's Mark Stoops. Congratulations. Yes, Chris, where are you calling from?
Russellville.
All right, well, you've won the CJ's Butcher Boy Burger gift card. Stay on hold, and Colton will get your information. Mark Stoops, again, the longest tenured coach in the Southeastern Conference, been in Kentucky for quite a while now. Took the position back in 2012. So over a decade with the Kentucky Wildcats in Lexington. Chris and Russellville just won a $25 Butcher Boy Burgers from CJ's gift card. The best burgers, fries, and shakes in all of Arkansas. He's just going to go right down the road to the Arkansas Avenue location. If you're coming up for Arkansas games, you can go to the Fayetteville location off Weddington as well. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. Coming up, halftime, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Big C, 3 more hours, and then we're followed by Ruskin and Zach. Stay with us here on ESPN Arkansas.
Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with the winner.